Okay, this is the video from when we had our little crash, and I'm gonna kind of take you through it here. We were just flying along. Everything's good. I don't know how high that is, a couple hundred feet maybe. Pretty high. It's a very windy day, but we had a nice big field to fly in, and other than the wind, uh, everything's going really well. We got the GoPro on board, and I had it shielded with some copper uh, that comes in the pack with the 350QX. We're in the safe mode. GPS green light locked up in about 35 seconds, which is excellent. That's the same thing as when we run without the GoPro. It locks up in 35 seconds. So as I said, we have the copper shield that Blade provides. It's kind of like covers about 3/4 of the covers the backside and the top of the GoPro. And I'm not using the watertight case. I'm just using the little plastic shell that they give you. And I put a few pieces of aluminum tape around some of the areas that were exposed a little bit, just to try to get a little bit better seal. But anyway, we're coming up here in the video about where it looked like we had some issues. We started losing altitude over here by these houses, and it looked to me like we were going to start going into those houses. And I pulled the come home switch, and you can see where it looks like it's trying to come back, but for some reason it turned around, and now it's headed back toward off of the area that we were trying to stay within. Now it looks like like it's trying to come back home. I wish I would have thought of flipping it into the agility mode to see if I could get some altitude. I've got the altitude all the way up, and I'm just not gaining altitude. I'm losing altitude, but at least it's coming back toward me now. So, and you can see right here where it just crashed. I would call that not a complete crash, but a very hard landing, let's call it. Thank goodness it didn't land any harder than that. So I'm pretty panicky at this point. I just finished rebuilding the damn thing. I dropped it from about 10 feet in my backyard. I did a really stupid thing. I trimmed it down, and I did not know that when you trim the Spectrum 5E, it's got digital trims, and when you trim it down, that also shuts the power off. So I learned my lesson the hard way. I had to change the entire case, the bottom and the top of the 350QX. So it's in good shape now. It's got good blades and everything. It's got new housing. I didn't coat it with any copper or any of that stuff. So right here you can see my GoPro's beeping, or rather the blade's beeping. This is the way it landed right here. Here I am now. Like I said, I thought I was going to find a train wreck, but it wasn't bad. I mean, the ground was a little moist. It rained the day before, a little muddy. That might have helped a little bit. but I believe it hit on its landing gear. I'm using a tall landing gear, and there was no damage at all. Unbelievably, no damage. A little bit of mud on the one of the props where it flipped over, but it took it pretty well, and the GoPro didn't have any damage either. And I'm using a fairly flimsy little hookup. I'm not. The GoPro is not on the. I guess I wish I could show that to you, but it's not on the. It's on the mount that comes with the blade, the 350. But I'm using the GoPro's extension, their little adapter. So in other words, my GoPro is probably about 2 to 3 inches hanging down below the 350. It's about where it was before I put the long landing gear. But it looks like just that 2 to 3 inches really improved the RF issue that I had. My 350 will not lock up at all unless I shield it. I've got a GoPro 4E Hero 4 GoPro, and just got it for Christmas, and it will not lock up at all. GPS won't, unless I use some shielding. I've wrapped it in completely in aluminum foil, and that works pretty good. It'll lock up in about 35 seconds. But this, before I dropped it down away from the housing, from the belly of the plane, it was taking about 1 minute and 15 seconds to lock up. And just dropping it down that, whatever that distance is of that little swivel that comes with the GoPro, it's probably 2 inches. That helped on I gained about a half a minute in the time that it takes to lock to the GPS. So that tells me that I'm getting less interference. So now I'm back. I thought at first maybe I had a dead battery, but I didn't have 5 minutes on that battery, so that didn't make sense. So right now I'm on the same battery. I took it back over there. Really couldn't find anything wrong. Couldn't find any reason why it decided to land where it did. So there I am, flying it on the same battery, just kind of checking it out, see if there's anything else that's broken, or anything that's broken. It's not. You see this big field. They're going to build a subdivision there, and it's great because it's probably a half a mile across there at least. And I was a good ways out there when it crashed, but I wasn't out of range of that. Shouldn't have been out of range of this transmitter. The one other thing, and I don't think it makes any difference at all, but I'm using rechargeable batteries. The manual tells you to put rechargeable batteries in each time, fresh batteries in each time. I did. I measured the voltage on each one was about 1.37, something like that, not quite 1.4. So they're not as they don't have as high a voltage as a regular battery. These are nickel metal batteries, but I'm still getting a green light. I'm getting the second green light. I hope that's not the problem. I really don't think it is, because I just don't see how I would be out of range that close. So anyway, it flies good. The other possibility is maybe the OF frequency got me. I don't think so. I'm not flying with the Wi-Fi on, and it's been really acting well as far as the shielding and everything goes. So can't really explain what happened, but I flew it again this afternoon over my house, and it did fine. Just kind of one of those weird things. Maybe it'll show back up here eventually. Maybe it won't. But I tell you, it's a scary situation when you see that $800-900 flying away from you. And I thought it was going to go into somebody's house over there, or their backyard or something, where I'd never be able to recover it. And I guess my old eyes don't have as good a depth perception as they used to, because when I looked across there and it was running away from me, I thought it was over into those houses already when it went down, and I was just really scared. But I just kept my eye. When it went down, I just headed for that spot, and I could hear it beeping. Luckily, the darn thing beeps when it hits the ground, when it goes haywire. So it was very easy to find. I just went right to it. It hadn't got off of this big lot here. So it all ended up okay. No damage, no nothing. Just another unknown flyaway that I can't explain. So that's the end of my story. Maybe you or somebody else has got ideas as to what could have happened. I appreciate any help I can get on it. And we will be talking to you later. Bye-bye.